fail again. The next day, Gardo let us go to the station. I told him me and Rat would go alone if he didn't. He said, "What if we were being watched?" I couldn't see how they could watch us without us not seeing them, and I said we'd be moving so fast they'd never know. He said, "What if they come back to the dump site looking for us?" I said, "What if they don't?" He said, "What if they've got the station staked out?" And I said, "What if we just do nothing forever and forget the whole thing? Is that what he wanted?" Kind of snarled at me then, but I'd got my way. So early morning we went down to the tracks. The trains cut through the south side of Bahala, very close to the docks. If you want to get to Central, you can pick one up 10 minutes from my house. People have built their homes right up to the line because the ground is flat and clear. Every now and again the homes get torn down and the people get shipped out. Over time they come back and the game starts again. It's not as dangerous as you might think because the trains are only for a day just there and they go slow. They're long and heavy and you can hear them coming a mile away. The only person I ever heard of getting run over by a train was a woman about 2 years ago, and she did it on purpose, walking up as the train came and laying her head right on the rail. Gardo, me and Rat waited for the 6 o'clock. It came by pretty much on time and we ran alongside the last coach. It's a passenger train and it goes for 9 hours, way down to a town called Diamond Harbour. It starts at the dock but not many people get on there. Then it goes to Central, where it gets so full you can't breathe. We swung up and in through the windows. There's no glass and no bars, and the only people were an old couple at one end. So we spread ourselves over the benches and we looked out and waved like we were on holiday. "What if they're watching?" said Gardo again. "When he gets something on his mind, you can't ever get it off again." "How can they be?" said Rat. "They'll be looking for people doing anything suspicious. How many times have we been on a train, Raphael?" "I don't know, not often. They're police, yes. They're going to be looking out to see what we're doing. What if they know there was a locker key, they just don't know the number?" "No, listen," I said, "that's crazy. If they knew the bag had a locker key, they'd have broken into every locker in the station. They cannot know what's in the bag." "Maybe they're at the station now, opening every locker, waiting for us." "If they are, we just walk away. We're just 3 boys out roaming." Rat said nothing. He just looked from me to Gardo and back again, and when I caught his eye, he smiled and we both laughed. Gardo told us to shut up. 20,000 now, he said. "That's the prize money they're offering. I heard. They just doubled it." "You know they won't pay it." "What I'm saying is, whatever they're looking for is getting more important. If this Jose Angelico killed someone, what if he killed an important man, a politician maybe, someone rich, and we've got the clues to catch the guy? What are we going to do then? We end up stopping the police catching a killer." I said, "Gardo, why don't we just see what's in the locker?" And I smiled right at him and lay back on the bench. "We decide what to do then, okay?" I told him to rest his brain. "I do the locker," said Rat. We both looked at him, and Gardo asked him what he meant. "I best do the locker," he said. "Okay, I best square it with the station boys too. Say we're doing an errand for someone, give them something. Also, in case anyone's looking, I know where it is. I'll go in fast, grab what's there, meet you by the tracks. Anyone sees me, I just run. 3 of us run, they'll get 1 of us. If it's me, I'll lose them, okay?" "How much do the station boys?" I said. "They're going to want how much?" "I don't know. I'll try 20 and make it look like a small thing. Give me 100 though." I gave Rat the notes and he was twitching a little, getting scared. Gardo was shaking his head, thinking deep. He said, "It's a good idea, Rat. I can see where you're coming from, but I say stick together. We ought to stay together on this." He looked at me and said, "You better stay close to me." Minutes later, the train was slowing for the station and we stood up at the sides. I could see the platform coming up, so I jumped and ended up rolling on the grass. Gardo nearly fell on me, but Rat stayed on his feet. I hadn't seen before just how quick Rat could be. And he was so thin it was like he was just straws and paper, like he could blow up in the wind like a little kite. He didn't even look round, he just skipped along and we hurried after him. We ran up onto the platforms and a couple of kids looked at us with a kind of mean-eyed suspicion, like this was their territory, which it was. They followed us up at a distance. We jumped early because you don't ever want to be seen getting off the train. If the guards or even the porter see you, you can get a real thrashing. The station boys are different. As long as they don't steal or get in the way, nobody cares too much. They keep the station clean and go through a train in about 2 minutes. If they beg or sell, they know to do it off the sides. That's why people let them alone. So now we were all making our way up the platform, just a straggling bunch of 3 barefoot boys. We might have been invisible. I know the dangerous bit was going to be in the locker, because that was something you did not usually see. Boys like us opening luggage lockers? It wouldn't have to be police, it would be anyone who noticed. They'd assume right away that we were thieving, and thieving boys get no mercy from anyone. Just off the platform, we were met by more station boys, and these ones were bigger. We kind of got herded over to the side, and I could feel Gardo getting ready, feeling for his hook, which he always carries somewhere. Rat did the talking though, and since he used to live there and knew some of them, I saw him pass over the 20, and then another 50, and then a 20. Everyone shook hands, and then they let us go. I guess Rat had paid them not to follow us, because we went on alone to the main station square. They give us 5 minutes, he said. The giant station, and at that time in the morning, it's just getting crazy. A good time for us, but scary as hell. You've got porters, you've got travelling families, you've got trucks delivering stuff, horns blasting, train whistles, loudspeakers. Everyone's cutting in and out of everyone else, and the noise is so loud you have to shout. Rat kept moving fast, and I was beginning to get frightened again. Hadn't liked the look of the station boys, but now, everywhere I looked, I could see mean-looking railway guards, and we were getting stared at. I had to keep saying to myself, we're not breaking the law. But it kind of felt like we were. And everyone knows stories about what happens to kids if they get caught breaking the law. I don't mean what I said about just riding in a train and being thrashed. We've got prisons in this city, and the prisons take kids quicker than they take men. We also hear stories of boys not even making it to prison. But I don't know if there's any truth in it. Everyone's out to scare you with a story. I was told once about runaways, and it made me sick. How if a new kid shows up with nowhere to go and the police get him, they wait till night, break his legs and put him on the tracks. They're stories and they may not be true, but I couldn't stop thinking of them as I walked across the station, feeling small, nearly losing Rat, but Gardo by my side up close, both of us just waiting to be caught. Rat kept going. Somehow he'd shaken off that twitch he gets and was walking fast, looking happy as a kid. He stayed a little bit ahead of us. He had something in his hand and I saw it was the key, so I guess we must be near. We went under a bridge into some kind of hall with a low ceiling and lines of tube lights. We kept walking, like we knew where we were going, and there they were. 2 long aisles of grey metal lockers, lines and lines of doors. We kept on walking. Some doors were big enough to take suitcases, and some up above were small enough for just a handbag. There were no police, no guards, no station boys, and Rat knew exactly where he was going. And he hung back for a moment, so we drew level and he said, "You keep moving, okay? Walk." There were 2 women opening one locker, and we went straight past them. They were far too busy with whatever they were putting in to notice us. A tall man at the far end was locking a door and his back was to us. I could see the numbers, 110, 109, 108. None of them were smashed. Everything was neat and quite new, and there was still no police. Then suddenly, Rat had turned and he had the key in the lock. We walked straight past him and we heard the sound of metal. Nobody shouted. Nobody even noticed. I was 10 paces on when I heard the sound of a door closing, and then Rat was next to us again and I could see he had something under his arm. "Don't run," he said. "Slow down, okay?" We did as he said, but my heart was pounding. Gardo was smart enough to stop and play with the drinks machine, checking the slot for money. I was thinking, look like nothing's wrong. 3 station kids making their way. Rat had the package under his shirt now. We went out onto platform 4 and right along to the end, weaving through the people. We did start to run then, out of relief. We got down on the tracks and we started to run fast. 5 minutes later we got among bushes and bramble and there was a small pile of concrete sleepers to sit on and we were out of breath. Rat was grinning and laughing and I was as well. He held the package in both hands and offered it up like a present. It was a brown envelope sealed with tape and it took me some time to get it open. Inside was a letter with a stamp in the corner, waiting to be posted. There was writing in thick pen. "If found, please deliver." Then the address, Gabrielle Alondres was the name. Underneath that, prisoner 746229, cell block 34K, South Wing, Culver Prison. I felt myself go cold again, but I grinned up at Gardo and he looked hard, right at me. I opened the letter and read it out loud. 1 page, and a little slip stuck to it, with just a line of numbers making no sense. Then again, the letter made no sense. We understood none of it. All we were sure of was that we were getting in something deep, getting deeper.